Alrighty, good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and share. I'm super excited um, about this program. We just had the first official training. Um, we just had the first official training back last month, and I got a special guest that's going to be joining us for just a few minutes, and we gonna tap them right on in. How about that? We gonna tap. So I need y'all to tune in because we are gonna be talking about the community policing program. Doc,
All right,
family, peace and
peace.
blessings to you, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
Man, I'm doing good, man. This weather's beautiful today, man. It's
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. I'm loving the weather. I'm loving the weather.
Man, so man, again, thank you so much. You're probably one of the busiest people that I know, but I feel like you and I could have a very engaging and intelligent conversation about community policing. As somebody that understands the private, I want to get into a little bit of the intricacies of the importance of community policing because most people don't understand that community policing is a private sector.
Facts.
So can we just kind of dispel some of the myths of what community policing is and how it is the best bridge between the community and the municipalities that operate law enforcement within city or set governments?
Um, I how I even came into this stuff is like I don't want to get too deep though, but like the Black Panthers, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like study if you look at the Black Panthers, they were actually created to protect our communities. And like when I was introduced to Harvard Christian University, that was one of the main things that sparked my interest was because the first time I spoke was about, the community and how to protect the
Yes.
community. So having the option. This is something available to anybody. It doesn't you just don't have to be a certain race, creed, or color. But and we're not here to bash anybody, but certain churches they're not protecting us. They're not protecting the communities. They're taking
Yes.
from the communities actually and not
Yes.
giving back. So what Harvard Christian University has done, like because y'all work directly with Interpol, and
Yes.
I'll let you speak
Yeah,
on the
we gonna
sophistication of
go into
Interpol.
that so
But
that
yeah,
yeah,
so you're
yeah.
putting together community police, like
Yeah.
the police that are in our black communities. We're gonna just stick there. We all have a nationality, but we're not gonna get deep. This is for the melanated people. They're not from those communities
No.
at
No.
all.
No.
So Dr. J here, he teaches the private life first of all, but you have to be able to protect these people as well.
Yes.
And because we're having they'll label you a sovereign citizen, they'll do all types of crazy stuff, and that's not who we are. We're basic a common unity.
Yes.
It could be a family. So
Yes.
we got community watch programs, but with Interpol you get to work directly with the police. You get to talk to, it's recognized, so to
Yes.
speak, instead of
Yes.
being like a private security guard, because that's how I operate. As being in the public, I have to deal with private security.
Yes.
But this is community police. You actually get to police your communities, and they're here protecting darker skinned communities. So I just want to put that out there, and
Yes.
anybody can be part of this.
Yes.
But to my
Yes.
understanding, I haven't took the classes yet. But
Yeah.
to my understanding, we're not carrying firearms or anything. We're just making sure that the police see us and understand that we are protected. We are
Yes.
protected. I need everybody to understand this. The private sector is the part of the economy that the government does not control. Then the
Yes.
public sector is part of the economy that the government does control. And I'm not getting too deep, but what has happened is when we're utilizing their documents, we're part of that public sector, and we're being treated like property
Yes.
in the public. So that the actual police are doing their job.
Yes. Let's talk.
The- the-
Let's talk about that just a little bit. Not give them the whole juice, but let's talk about that because most people don't understand They are operating within the laws and the
Yes.
codes of their
They're doing nothing
municipality.
wrong.
They're not doing anything wrong
Anything wrong.
at
Anything.
all. At all.
Correct.
They're following the book. They understand the
Yes.
protocols. They understand the state jurisdictions. They are more aware than you think they are. We don't give them the credit, but they are well aware. But what you have to do is, if you have your own community, you have to create your own pipeline to deal
Correct.
directly between the community you have and the municipalities that are already operating. You have to create your own segue to do that so that your engagement is understood, so you're a lot differently than how they would handle anyone else. Let's put it like that.
Yes. And let me just throw out there, this is amazing because like even like the event last year when I was with y'all in Atlanta,
Yeah. Yes.
you had police officers there.
Yes.
You had government officials there, people from the news. And when they heard me say some certain things, Dr. Carr was able to step in and say, hold up, and be able to explain it in their language,
Yes.
in layman's terms, so to speak. And they're like, oh, okay, you're right.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So with the with having this private community police, that's like the gateway to make this, whatever you're doing in the private, to make it make sense. A lot of people don't know. I'm not gonna get deep. Amish have it's called y'all seen the show, The Amish Mafia, right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
have their own security. They have their own police, their own community police, and the police in the public is not going to interfere with that unless you're harming somebody or damaging property.
Yes.
Those are the main things. So just like I mean, this is a chance to everybody that's living the private life. I'm going into the private sector, and I know there's going to be some people that don't know what I'm talking about. But my community that I'm in, this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have to go background checks and certain things, but if you're trying to change for the good, like everybody's trying to do, I don't want to drive without a driver's license because we know certain things are, what I mean. I'm not gonna
Right.
get deep, but yeah, we understand
Yeah.
in the private we don't have to register a car, but
There we
you
go.
still have to abide by certain rules though. So this is where you can start learning these rules and
There we
start
go.
operating correctly in the private and still be looked at as a community police officer because that's truly what you're going to be.
Right.
And
And
you're policing your private community, your private rules.
yes, let's talk about that just a little bit. Somebody was telling me that what's the difference between a police officer and a community police officer? I told them there's no difference.
Right? Facts, facts, facts,
That
facts.
there
I
there
don't,
is there is no
um,
difference.
I don't know how deep we can get, but
We we
Article
we
One.
can we can we can put our tippy toe in the water. We can.
So look, I'm about to read something first, but I need everybody to understand this. Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution states that the United States cannot interfere with a private contract. The only time they can interfere with your business is if you're hurting somebody or damaging property.
Yes.
And just to take it another step further, all these crimes that people are going to jail for, there's no victims. So when you have a community policing involved, we can hold trial right there. We can talk to the
Right.
supervisors right there because you're
Right.
actual police officers. But I need
Yeah.
everybody to Google this.
Right.
Is private law family law? And
Yes.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read what I have right here. This is from Google. This is from the public sector. But family law is a type of private law. Is
Mm,
family law private law? I typed
mm,
it in wrong.
mm,
So private family law is different from other civil cases because it focuses on personal relationships and involves children. So family law is private law, and a lot of people don't understand that. That's why the Amish operate outside that type of jurisdiction. And
mm,
I'm just bringing up communities so y'all can paint a picture and know that
mm,
this is real. And
mm,
when it comes to the so-called black race or black people, they don't have a community. Um, and anything that's truly protecting them, it has been weeded out through certain nonprofit organizations because they came public. You know, like
Hmm.
that's the government's agenda. They're doing their job. You
Right.
know, that's what it is. We don't
Hmm.
have a common unity as people usually. You know what I mean? So I just want to say Harvard Christian University is the only black church. I mean, you know, we're Aboriginals, we're the
Yes.
original. But
Yes.
just for this sake right here, they're the only one trying to protect the black people, the black
Yes.
community.
That. Thank you for thank you. Right, loud and clear. That's what we're trying to do, and this is your opportunity to let the municipalities know that you
Correct.
understand what community, what jurisdiction this community is supposed to be protected by. If they're doing their job on this side, we got to go back and say, what does the community on this side need to do? What is their job? How do they need to interact and engage? What is their, instead of being fearful of them, we need to understand what are they, if they're doing everything correctly, then they can't be the problem. It's obviously got to
Facts.
be, what are we doing on this side as a community to help them to understand how we better engage with them? You are
I
more
like that.
you are more formidable when, if you have somebody from your community that is pulled over, that when you're looking at this ID, and by the way, it is a scanned ID that is
So
connected.
show them the
You
back. Show them
have
the back. Show the badge. Show the badge. You get that too. You get that too.
yes, you get the badge and you get the ID. The ID is scannable. So when you get pulled over, they can run this, and
Facts.
it has protections in it. So if they so much as arrest you, this badge has certain technology in it that wherever this badge goes, they can pinpoint it and locate exactly where it is. And if you are found to be wrongfully jailed or anything like that, you will get
Facts.
a call from the U.S. Division Director, and you will be let out. That's how that works, because we
Facts.
understand that if this community is not have someone who is the go-to, then it's going to continue to contract with no interference without you understanding how they're even doing everything. They're doing their job, but you have to understand they're contracted to do what they do.
Facts. They're- and so what I learned too is they're called police officers. That means they're policy enforcers, and they're enforcing policies. And so as a public citizen, a public U.S. citizen, you fall under all their policies as property. So
Yes.
they have to treat you as such. And just to take it to a step further, people need to understand this. The government was created, they call them the founding fathers, right? These are
Mhm.
private families.
Yes.
Fathers start families. So
Yes.
private families run and create the government. And that's just what it is right now. So Harvard Christian University, not only are they a private family, they're tapped into multiple private tribes and private families
Yes.
from the higher ups. I was in New York, and y'all gave a award to the police chief. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I was standing
Yes.
right there. They
Yes.
recognize this stuff, and then I learned more private knowledge because I thought a citation was a ticket and it's an award.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And these are things that we're actually going to be talking about in the training, that I think is important. And I think as a community, if we do this, we can help to understand how we can better protect. This is about protections. You can't protect family without a trust. So how do you
Facts.
protect community? You protect
Facts.
community by having officers who understand trust, who know how if your community operates under a trust, then that trust needs protection. Just like your family trust needs protection, your community needs protection. Absolutely. So there's a question that somebody had, and I'm gonna see if we can't answer it. And I think you can answer it because both of us are on both spectrums of the public and private side. But I'm gonna see if you and I both can answer it. This question comes from Purposely Living, and they ask, do you honestly feel it's an equal connection to ever be had? So the bridge between um law enforcement and the actual community. that's what they're asking.
Okay. You want me to answer it first?
Yes, go ahead.
So I think it is. Because the reason being, I've always been able to work with the police and the courts, but this is much easier. You know what I mean? This I'm a community police officer. They know what the community police officer. This is it makes you eat. This is they do ride-alongs with the community police officers. I need
Yes,
everybody to know this. You get to sit with the police.
yes,
You get to police your own people. So
yes,
we're holding them more accountable. And since we are the community police, then we get to decide who our people is. So, and I look at it as this, they don't really protect us, they respond.
there we
So,
go.
this is a form of protection.
Yes,
You can call us right away. And I just want to throw this out there too. I don't, because this is something you want to be part of. But there is private, like security companies that do the same thing. Like
yes,
it's not considered community police, but the police can't kick them off the block. The police,
right,
but there's security, like in new subdivisions and new houses. Though
yes,
the security systems come with security guards on the block. A lot of people
yes,
don't know this though. A
yes,
lot of people don't know this. So this is the actual community police, and actually, who people don't know that the police, when you study the private, they're under a corporation, and it all goes back to the same thing under Interpol. So
yes,
the police come directly under the program that Harvard Christian University is offering.
yes,
Like, truthfully, can't make this up.
yes. And so I want to talk about the training just a little bit, and then we're going to open up the floor to some more questions. So in the training, one of the things that we are going to talk about is we're going to talk about jurisdiction and protections. We're going to be very adamant in that. Another thing is situations. Is how do we address situations? Somebody asked about. Okay, we got one of the infamous. It said diplomatic IDs around the corner. We are now functioning as a consulate.
Let's
We can
go.
also form private police and law enforcement. There you have it.
I'm Shay.
So there we go. So see, the U.S. Director of Interpol, there are global directors. Um, there is no valid jurisdiction of law. Um, actually, I would say there is valid jurisdiction, but you have to determine what that jurisdiction is if you're going to be conversing or becoming what competent in law. You got to know what laws, right? So the information is not shared here. Okay, so we have to protect those directors, but
Okay.
we have a US director. There's a director for Europe. There's a Asia director. There's an Australian director. There's an African director. So we cover all the continents. Just know
Let's go.
we're covered in that. So great question. But we cover all of the continents. So if you're trying to get into the actual program, if you're here in the what we would call the jurisdiction of, let's just say, said state, we're not even going to reference the U.S. per se, because some people are going to come as state nationals and you name it.
Right.
So with whatever your said jurisdiction, if it operates within the division of the U.S., you will be working with the U.S. office. That's who you will have the protections of, is the U.S. office. And any communications, whether you're someone who travels internationally or anything like that, you have the support while you're there in that jurisdiction of that area as well. So there's cross communication for your travel, because I know that's the question that's going to come up. But we're actually going to be going through situational training. We're actually going to go through understanding how to do de-escalation tactics. We're going to get into things like domestic violence, how to
That's
address
lit.
those situations. We're going to go into different things in the areas where you're going to have to be very competent to be working, because what you're doing is you're essentially going to be assisting law enforcement to handle some things that they may not be versed or expertise to handle. In that 2 day training, you get so much, like it is loaded. But when you come, you're going to be able to go into each of the breakout sessions, and you're going to be able to take notations, make you extremely competent. That's the key. If you can get through situations, then you won't have to have the conversations about jurisdictions and if
Right.
you're a national or anything like
Can
that.
I throw something out there? So
Sure.
everything is like I said, family law is private law. So you really are the law. But our families don't create jurisdictions. You
Right.
don't put it on the record. So everything is truly under God. The first jurisdiction under this system would be the Ten Commandments. But we don't implement that. They implement codes and statutes. And that's because you don't know which royal family you come from. Harvard Christian University is directly under a royal family. And so I
Mm,
need to throw that out there. So it's private regardless. They have a depart or Ministry of Defense. You know, they directly under that.
there
So
we
I'm just
go.
saying that's enough. But with private tribes and private family, they have private training. They know what to say to the officers. So most of our families don't have that. And I want to, because I've studied this, and not to throw any groups out there, but the Nation of Islam used to operate like this. They'll go to the jail and get their people out. But this is a whole different level. You get credentials. You're working directly with people that create law enforcement. Like
Yes.
this is
We
recognized. There's no
and most people don't understand. Guess what? Who better are you going to work with? Are you going to work with the municipalities, or are you going to work with the ones who train the municipalities? Because
right
in essence,
facts.
that's what we're doing. We're actually training the municipalities on how to better work with the community police officers that are there that they can't service, and they're being the bridge and the gap to say, hey, like, you don't have time to work through a domestic violence issue. Send me in a unit and I'll go see what's going on, because you got bigger fish to fry. You got robberies and other stuff that you have to
Facts.
handle.
Facts.
So
And
we're the intermediaries. We're gonna pick up the load for the stuff you don't want to handle, that you don't deem to be important. We're gonna take up the slack, because that's what part of our job is.
right, right, right. So I study police handbooks, you know. So I
Yes.
just need everybody to know that if even if you have a regular state ID and you're not part of this, if you like, because I said there's people that do the national and all of that, but they
Right.
don't say the right things. So like I saw it, they are a consulate. So if you understand, this training is going to teach you what to say to the police to
Right.
get those rights invoked, because you don't
Right.
have rights until you state them.
Right.
So this is going to give you the rights, give you enforce rights, and and allow you to know what to say. So they'll contact your consulate, and you get to stay there until your people show up. I mean, even
Yes.
moving forward, if they decided to do anything, you have the right to be seen by your peers, and now you have peers.
There you go. See, I couldn't have said it better. And I believe this is going to be the way that we're going to be able to now. Our former president, Joe Biden, put together a initiative and talked about, several things, um, and was addressing a lot of things about, communities and things of that nature, like, what's happening with the police, what's this and what's, like, what do we do. And they rolled out this massive program, but nobody took advantage of it. It
Wow.
just, like, nobody took advantage of it. The Community Violence and Intervention and Prevention Initiative, you can Google it. CVIPI. It was put out in 2021. It was a bill. It eventually came out in 2022, but nobody took advantage of the program,
Wow.
because nobody knew how to handle the mantra of defund the police. Nobody knew how to. It was too shaky because nobody knew how to touch it. But we came and said, like, hey, look, we'll touch it, because we know there's certain things that they can't touch, that we're willing to get our hands in, and we're willing to deal with it, because we know on another totem pole you got other things that are more important. You got to deal with robberies. You got to deal with this. You got to deal with all of this other stuff. But what about the lady who's going through domestic violence? What do you
Right.
have for that? What do you have for somebody that is on the street that's homeless? And what things do you
Wow.
have to actually help the community that is hurting and going through something? You have the chance to be the cure all. You have the great opportunity to do that. Um, so that's one way that we can begin to do some of the work to help law enforcement understand the value of having community police officers that they work with. And we were fortunate enough to start doing the first training here a month ago, and we have the support of Dallas PD now.
That's lit. Congratulations.
So this up and coming training that we're going to have in January is going to be hosted at the Dallas Police Department.
Let's go. That's lit. Congratulations,
Okay,
man.
you can't beat that.
I'm
That
there, man. I'm there.
so everybody, this is what I want y'all to do. I'm going to put the link up and I'm going to go through the process just a little bit with everybody. And Don, you can jump in and give, because this is some of your listening audience. They're probably going to come pouring with questions, and we're going to try to answer as close as we can without giving away all the juice. But you will have to go through an application process. It only takes about a couple of days, because anybody that we look at for this program, we want your. We don't say, we didn't say you ain't got to be arrested before. We didn't say none of that. We're doing this because we want to be able to know who it is that's being brought into this program. Because if I'm going to be working closely with you, if you're going to be calling my phone and having access to me, because I'm considered the director of intelligence operations. So you pretty much gonna be dealing with me probably more than you want to. But I'm gonna be the person you call most of the times. And you want to be able to understand that we gotta have some level of relationship. So this is an opportunity for me to be able to evaluate your background, not to pick it apart, but I think we need to be able to have the opportunity to be able to communicate with each other, and find out what value do you see that this program would bring to you and your community. That's why we're going through this vetting process. And it only takes us a couple of days to do it. And I promise you, when you do this training, you're not going to regret it. It's going to be very impactful, and you get to meet some other like-minded individuals there at that training, and you also have the opportunity to engage with some other people that will be attending that are specialized. We're working on the domestic violence unit. We're working on a whole bunch of the
That's
legal.
that's
It's a whole
amazing.
bunch of stuff we're working on, but you get to talk to the people that are there who specialize in these areas, that's going to be working with law enforcement in this arena, who see this as a great opportunity, um, for us to be able to have this, not only just this conversation, but like really move it forward solution based and get the training out to you. You go through the breakout sessions, you get to ask questions. You really get to see what is going on, and it provides so many incredible protections. And check this out. And guess what? This is UN protected, and it's stronger than a UN,
Yeah. I
stronger
forgot
than a
to mention
passport.
that. Say it
Yeah.
one more time. Say it one more time.
This provides UN protection, and this is stronger than a passport. As a matter of fact, when you go through TSA, this is your passport right here. It is scannable. It is. Ain't no question of it. Run it through. You go through. Oh, right this way, sir. Yeah, ma'am, right this way. Yeah, you need to go. Wrong line. Yeah, there you are. Because now the TSA is reclassifying you, and they're saying you're in the wrong jurisdiction. So if you're going to general population, that's why we're gonna go over TSA stuff in the training. We're not gonna dismiss it. We're gonna go over TSA stuff in the training. But just know, when you have this, it does provide diplomatic protections. But we're gonna train you on how to use those diplomatic protections when you're traveling the airways. We're gonna show you how to do that.
I feel like this is like, because a lot of people are coming here just to try to get legal protections, truthfully. So
Right.
this is simpler than anything out there.
Yeah.
This is the simplest form, anything out there where you don't really have to do study all these books, study all these different subjects. You got one thing, straight, simple, to the point. Now your family's protected. You're part of a private community.
Yes, there we go, and it works just like that. Okay, so somebody asked about where do I sign up. Okay, so I'm gonna put the let me see if I can pull this link.
He sent me one.
Have it, so you can start the application process, and I'm gonna pin it here, and it's pinned. All right, so we got it pinned. Okay, so you just go through and Dr. Don. So if you are from or if you are from one of his people, when you go through and complete the application, make sure that you put his name in the application as the referral, because
Don Kilam.
he's one of our regional directors in the program. So when you put him on there, that means that you have two people that's watching you. You got me watching you, you got him watching you. You can't get no better than that, right? So you
Facts.
can go on, the link is there, it's pinned. All you have to do is go and start the application process. The review is 2 days long. We don't go that in depth, but we will have some conversation. I will engage, and I think everyone should be given the opportunity to be in this program. But if you
Absolutely.
really seriously are really wanting to dive into this sector of it, because there's so many other parts of the private life, but law enforcement is just one of those things. I encourage everyone to have it. Just go through and complete the application. Give us 2 days to spend some time with you, to get to know you, to understand you. And once you're there, then all you got to do is go and sign up for the actual program. Um, yes. So, okay. Somebody asked about tribes. So, okay, tribal. What about the tribes? Okay. So let's say you have a tribe. Okay. If you have, say, 4 people, you would be considered a tribe at that point. If you have 4 people, you have tribal designation. Once you decide that you want to sign up, it is per each person. You will get a discounted package. But if you're just coming in strictly as an individual, you're not referral based, or you don't see the need for it, or you don't see the value in it, or you're not tribal in a sense, you're going to go through the other part. It's more intense, it's more in depth, more breakout sessions, more personal, and then you get more other stuff with it. But if you're operating this tribal, we want to try to keep it within that capacity, because we have the capacity to work with tribes. So if you have 4 or more people, the group aspect is the best way to go. But if you're not tribal and you're doing it strictly for family or anything like that, there we go. So you got the moderator. It's there. It says
Yeah, you see.
tribal people federally recognized are still regulated. Let's talk about that. Okay, so if you're operating with the tribe, the best way to handle being federally regulated is to get private protection. We're gonna be your
Facts.
private protection. Okay, that's
Facts.
that's your best way out.
I
Okay.
just I want to throw out there. This is the only way I move is through private policing.
Yes.
Now I'm working with them, but I've always just moved with private security because I understand the private contracts. I understand private law. But
Yes.
moving forward, I'm thinking this is how everybody needs to be. You need to have, because just think about if the police come up and something happened as a private security guard, because I know so many private security guards,
Yes, I do. Yeah.
and you have this credential.
Yes.
Now it's a brotherhood.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Let me tell you something. We literally just got we're gonna be, I think it's in the fall of 2026. We have multiple divisions. Now this is where really gets interesting. We have multiple divisions. We have a bodyguard program. So if you
Oh,
you
that's
want to
lit.
look at, we got the bodyguard program. We have cybersecurity program. So if you want to get into the cyber, it's not rolled out until the fall time, but it's coming. We're working on the rollout of it now. We also have the counterintelligence. So anybody that wants to be
Yes.
on the counterintelligence side, that program is going to roll out in the fall. But the reason why we want to do the community policing program first is because it will progress you into the other programs. Because until you can do the community policing stuff, you won't be able to touch cybersecurity or anything else because you're going to be
Makes
touching
sense.
on community issues. You just got to be already expertise in those areas. So when you upgrade, because we're going to be talking about upgrades too. When you upgrade your rank or you decide you want to go to a different division, you need to have tons of community policing experience. And that's going to be your best way to bypass the criteria because their criteria is strict. You got to have minimum of 10 years of this, and you got to have this, and you got to all of this stuff that you have to have. The community policing program will give you the basis to walk through. So when you look at going to that other program, you got tons of experience and no way they could turn you around.
Mm.
Look, it's
That's
sites right. The moderator is putting the sites up. IVIP.gov is there. CCIO intelligence dot it's there. Like the moderator's putting it there for you to see. So you know that Interpol Academy is working directly with all of these areas. And that's why that community policing program is so important because it helps to put us up under the surveillance that we can watch our communities better and closer than the local police departments can, and it allows us to be able to go through and handle some of the challenges that they consider to be um outside of their ability to handle anything that's relational community in any facet. Again, you said it earlier, they're operating in commerce, they're just doing their job. You
they're
can't tell
doing
them
the
their
job.
job,
That's it.
but they're doing what they're supposed to do. But
We have to learn how to do what we're supposed to do and
that's
work with the
it.
system instead of against it.
Yes, there we go. And you said something last year that was really interesting. I started thinking about it. You said that we got to start becoming friends of theirs.
Yes,
This is how we do
absolutely.
it. This is how we do it. If we're the ones that's training them, doesn't that make us friends of theirs? They're
Get
going to give us the
facts,
least amount of problems, right?
facts, facts.
They're going to work with us. They're going to, whatever it is, like, oh, well, no problem. Well, if it's in your jurisdiction, you handle it, sir.
Facts.
That's why we have these regional officers. That's why we have Dr. Don as one of the regional officers that's working with us. We got about 5 other regional officers in the US that's spread out that's working. So you have a nationhood within this US division, wherever you're at, and you got our support and we backing you. You
Facts.
understand? You got our backing. So if there's a tribal issue, if there's a DV issue, even if you notice that like the holidays is becoming a very stressful time. One of the Walmarts here a couple of days ago, a man just walked in and shot up the place.
Mm,
Just walked in and shot it up. There was no police, there was no security, there was
that's
no nothing. Just
crazy.
walked in and just shot up. No questions, no nothing. So afterwards they get a call and it's like, what's going on? Well, we can't talk because we down here. We don't have the man that's supposed to be securing the premises is not even on site. Just imagine how much more you're able to do by being on site and being able to keep these situations prevented if you are on duty. Listen, I'm on duty 24/7. I don't have a time where
Facts.
I'm never not working. Something is happening, and
I talked
and
to him.
my
I
job
talked to you 2 a.m. this morning.
Yes, I was up working then. Yes. So you're on call every day. When you're in the public, you're on call every day. Even when you're dealing with the court systems, you're on call. So you're gonna be supporting both the public and private aspects when you're taking part in this training. But you have our support, you have the support of the police departments because they will and are working with us. They wouldn't work with nobody else. The grassroots community organizations and all of those, They have turned their noses up completely to that. This is the best gateway right here, boots on the ground, and it has the right protections that gets their attention and say, hey, whatever you say, that's what we're doing.
I'm part of the school, so I just want to say not everybody that they've trained up comes to the public and let you know, but they have some powerful people that's part of the school that just when I get together with them or talk to them, they just blow my mind. They think I'm the shit too, so excuse my language, but nah, it's just like when we get together, it's just amazing, man. So,
Yeah,
but being able to know what to say is the main thing, and this is why you need the training because people
yeah,
get spooked. They don't know what to say or what to do. And
right.
not only are they just going to put these things in your hand, you get the training with it. You
Yes,
know, so
yes.
that's the main thing.
That's main thing. So what comes with it is, of course, you get the badge and the ID, but you also get a certificate. The certificate is something that you can use that is legal documentation that if you go into a hospital, if you go into a courtroom, you can take that paperwork in there with you. They're going to cooperate. You're going to have minimal issues in that jurisdiction. You also get one of these. You get to put the decal in your window sticker.
That's lit.
You get to put it on there. So whether you put it on the front or I prefer putting it on the side because most people are going to look on the driver's side. So you all put it on the driver's side. So when law enforcement pulls you over and they see this, oh, okay, I just need to see your ID. And they'll see my ID and they'll be like, okay, you can go. No problem, officer. You have a great day. That's it. Ain't no, let me run. You got a driver's license with that or you got, no. Once he sees this and he said, well, yeah, I mean, I can show you my ID. I could give you my credentials. You know, you're more than welcome to run those if you. Oh, no, 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 sir. You have a great day. Just be careful.
Right. Facts. These are
Just be careful.
facts.
Just be careful. That's it. That's the kind of protection it offers. Now, every now and again, you're gonna get somebody that's gonna press it a little bit. They're gonna try because it's usually some rookie stuff. But what you can do is still the same thing. You can give them this. You can let them run the credentials, and they'll see, and they'll come back and say, "All right, okay, I don't know what to say other than just to be careful, but please slow it down. I don't know what you're in a rush for. They don't know if you're in emergency mode. They don't know anything.
Right, right.
They're just going off of the fact that you're in their jurisdiction and you're going 20 miles over. That's all they know. Again, that's part of them doing their job. But once they understand, oh, he has diplomatic protection. We can't even write him a citation. We can't do that. We have to leave him alone. He has UN protection. So at that point, it's hands off. It's real simple. Hands off. But somebody's like, well, does it work every time? I would say 95.9% of the time it works. There's always going to be a 5% chance of somebody on one level or the other that's going to be like, man, I don't believe that. Man, let me see. And then when they find out and they run it, okay.
I mean, I mean, truthfully though, like you once you become this, you should put if you're in the jurisdiction, they're supposed to know you're there. So I'm not gonna get deep with
There we
that,
see.
but you're supposed to put them on notice. The gentleman always gives notice,
Yes, there
so
we
you
go.
know
There we go.
you give notice. I'm in. I'm here. You know.
There we go. We go.
So
See, all right. So here's what I want you to do. When you come in January to do the training, I want you to do that part of it because I want people to understand that if you're going to really do this, this ain't no I'ma just go do this and do this freely. No,
right,
there's gonna be some stuff you're gonna have to do in the process so that when you're dealing with law enforcement, you're in their system.
facts.
So you're not ruffling no feathers. So if there's an issue or anything like that, it's like, we apologize. We just can't. Okay, so let me just let y'all know I'm here in the area. If you see
Right.
my car, if you see this, or if I call you and I may need additional assistance, or I may have a robbery or something like that, or something happens, if I'm not trained in tactics or anything like that, I can call and say, hey, I'm putting you on notice. There is a robbery at this location, this, and that. Please come to this. I'm a local community police officer here. I'm on standby.
That's it.
protection, right? They can't
Protection.
say you in something or involved in something you have no business. No, you're doing your job as a community police officer, which is to give them notice. But if
Right.
you're trying to de-escalate, we're going to give you some de-escalation stuff. So we're talking about people that may be dealing with family violence or domestic violence issues. I'll be teaching in that part of it so we can work on the de-escalation tactics. So because the courts are going to start changing some things next year in regards to
Facts.
what's going to happen when you have emotional outbursts in the public. What's going to happen is a lot of stuff is going to change again. I can't put this in this publicly, but in the training I can talk about what's going to happen and how you can help in de-escalating these situations and working with law enforcement in that also as well. Oh, the counterintelligence program. We're working on a crime lab.
That's lit.
We're working on a crime lab. Okay, so for y'all that like the stuff on, commercial stuff and this and that, the crime lab is not just about shootings and killings. I don't want y'all to. I want y'all to. That's just one aspect of it. But when you're talking about crime, where you're talking about everything from redlining to eminent domain to you name it, those are considered crimes, even financial crimes, trading securities, different things like that. We're working on getting forensic auditors and those types of people to
That's amazing.
look at, because we think that it's important that if we're going to be talking about counterintelligence, we got to talk about data breaching, we got to talk about security, we got to talk about all of these other things. But this community police part of it, get your foundation stabilized. You need that, because without that, it's going to really impact what's happening. And right now, law enforcement is very quiet about what they're doing in regards to the domestic violence laws. They're getting ready to change up the parenting right laws that are getting ready. They're doing this quietly. And the reason why is because this is going to be advantageous to the court systems and to the local police departments. That's why you need this community police training.
Facts. You see, he's talking about AI too. So
Yes,
that's another thing. So like when you travel, I would like if you're traveling through a car, I would always put every county on notice with these documents that you have that you're a community police officer. So
yes,
you will be treated different by AI cops or cars and cameras. You have to put them on notice wherever you're going. That's
yes.
that's gonna be the main thing.
Main thing. And I think somebody was also asking about um what does it take to get the cybersecurity? And go back again, get the police, get the community policing part first, because without the basic training in that, you're not going to be able to handle the bodyguard, the central, the counterintelligence, or any of that stuff, because those are community police issues on a cyber level. All of the stuff, but with counterintelligence, cybersecurity, all of those, it's another level of it. But getting it on this level, oh yeah, securities is a major crime. That's why we want to be able to get the community police stuff down, because you need to understand how they're working with the municipalities so that you can understand, okay, why is this fallout affecting what's happening in this apartment complex? Oh, because they don't have proper security guards, or oh, their surveillance is not this. We're even talking about we're even incorporating the drone program, so you can have a drone on site even if there's not a physical officer there, that you can have an officer that's trained in drone programming that can fly the
That's
drone around the
lit.
apartment complex.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
somebody said, would you notify the state? Yes, I would notify the state and the county. Yes, I
The,
would.
the, the county for sure. The county, the sheriffs, and then the municipalities. But the municipalities have to listen to the sheriff's office, the
Yes,
chain of command. Just like
yes,
the moderator was saying, we can have our own sheriffs. A sheriff is just it's a title.
yes,
how do you explain it? Sharif is actually is an Arabic word,
yes,
but
yes,
it's a ruler. It's a title of a ruler.
yes, yes. Absolutely. Can you talk about a little bit of the what's the most important aspect when starting out this community policing program? What is the first thing that they should be looking for or look to do in terms of occupying in this role that they'll be taking? What do you think are some of the key things that'll be important to them? Now, there's going to be ongoing training. Somebody asked, is this a one-off? No, there's ongoing stuff, but this would at least start you. So, what are some of the things that would really help to get their utility belt ready?
First of all, I think everybody should just forget everything they learned because you don't have to apply this here. It's much simpler. It's you got your private family. This is it. So forget everything. You don't have to learn no UCC codes. You don't have to learn laws, codes, statutes. You get to learn their way, their system. If it harms none, it does what you do what you will. So learn their code of ethics. So that's where I'm at with it, and understand this is your family now. This is your private family. You don't have to worry about being a part of a tribe. You don't have to be worried about I have to sign something with the state national. What everything that's out there. There's so
Yes.
much stuff out there, and people get so much confused. This is the KISS rule right here. Keep it simple, stupid. This is it. This is it. And once you take the training and you're with the directors, you get to see everybody. You get to see you're really part of this. You're not going to be scared. Some people, because there's different ways to do the private life, and people don't truly have a true understanding of it, and they're scared and they stumble. Well, now you have a team. You have a true family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So to get ready is just, I say, just wash everything you ever thought you knew and just know this is the private life. This is a private family. And just this is your foot into not just community police. This is your foot into changing your life and your family and your future generations to come, because they already told you some of the things they offer, but they also offer more than that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know.
Way, way more. Way
So
more. Like
sorry.
it's getting to where now we're even going to be working on what's called an advocacy center. The advocacy center is going to work hand in hand with the community police program. So when we have these wrongful shootings, when we have all of these different things that happen, now we have attorneys that are able to literally go and work to help understand why the police departments didn't do their job. Now we're considered the ones that are able to not just hold them accountable, but to help them to understand why they haven't been accountable, and they go and
Wow.
do what they need to do in order to improve themselves. So we don't have to say every time they do something, we got to smack their hand. They already know they didn't do the right thing, but they just
Right.
need a reminder. Hey, look, you just didn't do the right thing. But here's how we're going to reconcile this. This is how way we need to fix this. You have one of these issues, you need to come talk to us before you pull a gun out on somebody or before you
Facts.
wrongfully arrest somebody. We need those things in place. Those are our real protections that we're talking about. And these are the things that's going to help to allow law enforcement to develop a little bit of soft skills. And anybody know what the soft skills are? That's the emotional intelligence piece. That's all of the other things, the cognitive awareness. Every situation doesn't require you to always have your hand on the gun every time you pull up to a car. That's you want to appear non-threatening. If you appear non-threatening, then you can get more from somebody, as you would if you show up and you already got your hand on the gun. And that's one of the things that in the training we talk about, those things, not appearing non-threatening. That if you're in a very intense, volatile situation, the last thing you want to do is show up and say, well, somebody got a gun out, you pull yours out. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to appear non-threatening so that you can de-escalate. And if you see that the de-escalation tactic is not working, you get back up.
Right. Well, what we call it is peaceful compliance.
Yes, there we go. There we
Peaceful
go.
compliance. You always want to be peaceful, and they
Yeah.
should be peaceful too. But when you're like they're trained to go, man. That's they're trained to go. They're always on edge, and truly, that's how the police, not the community police, but the police out here, not right now. They're taught. You only got like 3 seconds to respond to stuff, so that it's your
Yes.
life or theirs. So even if
Yes.
you're just pulling out a cell phone, that's why some of our people can, you know. So
Yes.
this is why this is important.
Yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post. We actually have a video of a live scenario that would happen and what a community police officer would do. So everybody get like a snippet of like, okay, what's really going to be in the training? That's going to be one of the biggest components of it is learning to de-escalate. Okay. This is not about filing a bunch of documents and this like just again erase all of that. It's not even going to be in the training. It's not a conversation. We're literally talking about live scenarios that you can have on hand that are communication ready. Nobody's going to fight you when you got this on you. This beats paperwork anyway. But who's going to fight you when
Facts.
you got this? Okay, all right, got you there. So is that we said that much. Um, okay, the moderator, sovereign police is not a recognized or a legitimate term in law enforcement, government, or international policing. So somebody asked about that. Is not a recognized or legitimate term. So police are not sovereign. So that should answer a lot of y'all's questions. Police are not sovereign, y'all. We look
That's
like they're
deep.
judge, jury, execute. No, they're not sovereign. He's literally giving you the gem is right here. So that means that as long as you have people who take oversight, you have the ability to provide diplomatic relations so that you can issue peaceful compliance.
Well, you see what he put? That's look. Nations, tribes, and governments may be sovereign. Police forces, however, operate under the authority of a sovereign, not as sovereign entities themselves.
Yes. Yes.
So when I started off, I said they're under a royal family. They are part of a royal. That's the pipeline right there. That's
Yes.
the family tree. They're
Yes.
under royalty.
Yes.
So the sovereigns. They're sovereign, and then comes the police force.
Yes. Okay. So now, let's talk a little bit about. Oh no, that the reason why police don't have sovereignty is because of their jurisdiction. But we're not gonna get into that. It's they're considered. I'm here.
They're security guards.
Thank you. In short,
That's how I look at it. You
yes,
know, like because when you go to some like federal recognized tribes, it's going to say tribal security.
yes,
You know, but that's what they are. You know, if the United States is a tribe or whatever you want to call it, you have to look at the United States as a tribe or your state as a tribe. Things
yes,
like that. The city as a tribe. The city may
yes,
be a sovereign entity, you know,
yes.
but then that's like their security guard. They're protecting their policies. That's what they call them, policy officers or police officers.
Yes, yes. So somebody said they're a corporation. No, they are employees of the corporation. Let's clear that up. Don't just throw it out there. Let's reel it back in. They are employees of the corporation. Okay. So what happens is once they are bound by corporate jurisdictions, they must enforce policy. That we're going through the chain of command. Because please understand this, the reason we're doing it this way is because it's going to be said, well, there's this they're judge jury. No, they're not judge jury. You have to understand they are doing their job. They are operating up under the policy of the municipality. The municipality is created up under state codes and statutes. So they're already doing their job. Oh man, he just going overboard with his job. No, he's not. He's actually doing his job. Please understand that.
Facts. Facts.
He is guarding the codes and statutes of said corporation. Please understand that. Don't let that go over or under your head. That's exactly what they're doing. So in order to know how to police, you must understand their policy. Because
Facts.
our policy is what? Whatever the jurisdiction of our community says we function as. Okay? If it's anything else, I promise you, you're gonna have a day in court and they're gonna eat your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and anything else you serve. Okay? So please understand, they are employees of the corporation. They are
Facts.
assigned as policy enforcers of the state. Okay? When you are attached to not a sovereign entity, but you're attached to a organization that is considered to have sovereignty, that is a different level of protection.
Facts.
That's
Facts.
what the UN is for.
Facts.
Y'all,
The
that's what
United
the UN is
Nations,
for.
everybody.
That's what the UN is for. Y'all, that's why they have Homeland Security. That's why they have CIA. That's why they have FBI. That's why they have CSA. That's why they have SWAT. That's why they have all of these different departments, because they all have different jurisdictions of what they can and they can't do. But the one common denominator is that Interpol Academy trains them. So now what we've decided to do, because the municipalities have not made the relationship of commute between them and community safe, we're now coming in providing the safety. Since y'all don't want to necessarily do it, we're going to help you. We're going to become
Right.
your
That's
friends
it.
and help you.
That's it.
That's it. So, and anyone got any questions, we can gladly answer, or try to answer as much as we can without juicing too much. Without juicing
No,
too much.
that was perfectly worded, Dr. J.
Yeah, that's perfectly. So,
You did that was a great presentation.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I thank you for coming on as well. So, somebody asked about, okay, so if you are in a group of four, because I think some people are looking at the site now. If you are in a group of four, the training is $1,250 per person. Okay, that's per person. The application to do the background, because we do run background. I can't get into where we get the background from, but we do check it. The background is $350. That gets us to look at you. Now, somebody asking like, oh, what if you don't have? Okay, so there is a pay later button. So for those, we would say, that are more credit motivated, the people who are a little bit more credit motivated, you can actually use the pay later button on the application. I think it's like $35 a month or something like that, for the application fee. And then if you did, once you go through and you pass and you're accepted into the training, I think it's like uh $250 a month or something like that. But it's a great opportunity. We wanted to let it down. Okay, what if you have a criminal background? He just answered it. We'll work with your criminal background, as long as we deem that your character is intact. We can work past those things. We're looking at the character aspect of this, because let's all face it. Everybody background is not squeaky clean. Even if you got a ticket, I mean, a ticket is a ticket, right? But everybody has had some interference at some point, but we don't make that a defining. But we look at it for character aspect. We look at it to say like, hey, this person may have made some mistakes, but look, they want to do it different. We're going to help them. We're going to assist them. We're going to get them on the right track. We're going to get them all of the training, and then you have regional officers that you can report to. So if you have an issue or you're needing assistance, you call them. Anything, then you call us. Like, you're gonna have a chain of command of who you work with, up to pretty much up to the second in command, which is, I think it's Dr. Jerron Barnes. I think it's Dr. Barnes is the regional. Um, is the regional for this area. So that's who I report to. That's who I report to. So working in this area, so you're working. So there are jurisdictional officers and different people that work with this organization, and it's going to be really incredible, that you're going to have a chain of command that you work with. So if you have any issues, we'll work with you. We're not looking. Your past does not define you. If anything, it's a teacher, and we can use this as a platform to go back and actually make a difference in your community. That's how we're doing this from.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So somebody asked, Okay, what if we have a criminal background? Can you still get in? As long as you don't have any new infractions, we're good. Yeah. Dr. Don is one of our regionals, so you have him. You have some other regions. So like, it's not like you're just out here and you just freestyling it and you're working by yourself. That's not how this works. Everybody, you got somebody you can report to. So if you have an issue, we make ourselves accessible so that we can work with you. That's what part of this community is about, is that we can help you, we can assist you. You have an issue, we have a legal department that we work with. If you have this, we got de-escalation officers. We're working on other departments so that we can really get it to the massive level that we want this to go. We don't look at we don't look at a risk to any of those things. We just want to know, okay, is it a volunteer or do we get a salary? Okay, here's what you can do, is that you start off as a volunteer, but there are contracts on a community level that are attached to the police departments that will work with you in that aspect, and
That's lit.
we'll look at pay and different things like that. But the most important, does it work in every state? Yes, it does. It works in
It's under the UN. I'm sorry to cut you off.
yes,
United Nations.
yes,
Okay?
yes,
Interpol and the United Nations.
yes.
So that's really like all police have to report through them,
Right,
regardless.
right,
Like in the world.
right.
Not just the United States, in the world.
World, yes. That's who we have the back end. Okay, they're asking, so people looking for jobs, this could be a stepping stone. Okay, so now there's also additional caveat. So for those who are actually wanting to like get into law enforcement and actually working with the police departments, um, we actually have a relation we have some relationships with the local police departments, but it is great to do this on an international level. So we are looking at developing enough officers here to create an international division so that works together, so we're all working in the said 50 51, I believe it's actually 52 states, but we ain't gonna get into that. It's actually 52 states, y'all. So no, no say what the history books, but it's actually 52 states, just so y'all know. So within the said 52 states, this can work in terms of being able to actually have this, but your designation and protections are up under the UN, so it actually makes this international. It doesn't say
International.
international on here for no reason at all. That's why it says it. Yeah.
International police. And I just want to
Yes.
throw this out here too. So this is how I would be thinking if you're looking towards like to monetize this. I would be looking at getting into this the police academy, then going to the bodyguard thing that they have, the bodyguard
Yes.
class, because I'm going to tell you, Dr. J and Dr. Carl, the whole organization is tapped in with everybody, and they need security guards at their events. There's events every day probably with the community that y'all have. I know I always need bodyguards at my events, and then other people that
Right.
I'm connected with. So
Right.
I'm telling you, like it's endless, and this is a whole network. Like I don't know how many people you have under the school, but I just want to know, like. I just want y'all to know this can lead to financial gain, you know.
Yes, it
But you
can.
have to do your own networking sometimes, though. But Dr. J is going to make it easy for you. I promise you that much.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said 52. I can't tell you what the 52nd state is on here. I can't mention that. Don knows what the 52nd state is. I know we can't say that on here. Well, yeah, we'll get blasted. So we'll get blasted, but it's 52 states. Just like, you have to go back. I'll put this out. Go back and look at when the North and the South came together. You got to go back and look at when that happened, and it will tell you where the 52nd state came from. That's it. That's it. That's my hand. I just threw it out there. That's my hand. I can't give you no more. That's it. So run with that.
That's
Yeah.
that private life.
Yeah, that's right. That's private. But just know there's a 52nd state. Just I understand that. But know that. But between the thing that happened before the North and the South went through the War of 1865, just there a 52nd state was declared, y'all. Just so yeah. Um, so yeah, that's my little gem of it. Does anyone else has any questions? Okay, in the crime lab. Okay, if you're interested in the crime lab, that's great. Get on the community police thing first, because the crime lab is not rolled out yet. The crime lab is something we're still developing, because because we got to get we're working on the forensic auditors and the different things like that that's going to be working in that. So get the community policing stuff, because we're going to get into some of the crime lab stuff, but you need to wet your feet in it on the community police level, because you're going to be dealing with things like evictions and all types of
Facts,
stuff. You
facts.
need to be able to understand a lot of these things that's happening on the public side, so that you can kind of like, oh, okay, so this is what I need to look for. So when you do go work in the crime lab, it's like, oh, this is what I seen, like over here, this is what I now you get to apply your experience from working in the community police program. You get to apply that in the crime lab. Yeah. Uh um no, I wish it was, but I wish it was. I wish that was the case. Um, the French did a treaty, so they didn't have a chance to become. They never wanted to become a state. But
You talking about
close call,
Canada?
close call, but
You talking
not.
about Canada? They put Canada. Is that what you talking about?
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, it's still part of
Nah,
North America though. It's part of North America.
it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can say, but no, it's another state. That was there. That was established as territory. And so now I wish it was the treaty. The French already did a treaty and decided they didn't want to become a state. So you kind of have to not really count them as a state. They're part of the North American continent,
Right.
but they're not a state, because they have their own states. You see, now I'm doing your history. Canada has its own state, so they wouldn't really be considered in the equation. But there is a 52nd state. I know what it is. Don knows what it is, but we can't say it on here. But there is a 52nd state.
Hey, he'll tell you at the training.
There we go. All right, yeah. So here's the deal. Anybody that comes to the training, I will tell you what it is. I will tell you what the 52nd state is. That's my guess. But that's my promise. I'll tell you what it is. Yeah. Most people don't know about my background, but um I am a business, and I'm a business major. So the how I came into the this arena of working in community policing is that when I was working in corporate, I started working in the behavioral health sector, because a lot of people were going um through challenges. And we gonna do a whole nother live, but most people are upset about the reclassification of professional degrees. We're going to have a discussion on another live, talking about why that is actually a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing that it's not classified as a professional degree. You know why? Because it actually makes it easier for you to get into the program. It actually like it actually like lowers the fence just a little bit. So for those that like, man, I'm trying to get to this nursing program, but the criteria is so strict. No, by reclassifying it, it actually kind of makes it a little bit easier to get into the program. Like in certain programs, you got to meet certain criteria in order to get into it, and a lot of people. That's why there's such a high demand for people in the medical health field, because they can't find the people. It's simple. But if you go through and you develop that skill set, you will become formidable in that. So we also do we're also going to be doing, you know, medical training and other things that's going to be included, CPR and all those other things. That's going to become a part of you all's training later on, you know, as you go through it, because you're going to work some emergency situations and different things like that too as well. So this is not a one-off. This will get you started, but you're going to have ongoing trainings that are going to be conducted by people who work in high places, people who work for the FBI, people who work with SWAT, people who work with, they're going to be teaching in some of these programs. So this is the best time to get into this. Like, I would not sit around and wait on nobody to get in this. This is perfect timing to do this. Get in on this. Like, we want to be able to, like, we want to be like 300-400 strong with this first one rolling out. Like, we want to do it in such a massive way that when y'all are sent out, you know who your directors are. Hey, you're in LA, you work with such and such, that's who you report to. He reports to me, but you're working with this person, and you have any issues, you call either one of us. Like, those are the types of things we are doing. So now you have a go-to. Now you have a community that you work with. You're not out here doing this by yourself. This is the beauty of
Facts.
this training.
Facts.
Yeah. So Dr. Carl, yeah, he's one of the forerunners for making this happen in this US jurisdiction. He's the one that's making it happen. So just go through, and it's on the site. So it's there in the link. So when you click on it, you can go through, read the information. But when you go down and you see that application, go through it and do the background of that, and give us 2 days. Give us 2 days to look through, and you will get a phone call from our office. You will be hearing from our office, and we will have a very unique dialogue about what we're looking for. What do you want to do in this training? Like, how can we assist you? We're going to ask you all of those things, because we see that this is an overall benefit to help your community. This is what the overall benefit is. If this is what's going to keep somebody from being wrongfully shot, we're going to help facilitate that. If we can escalate some of these domestic violence and family issues, and we're going to do that, we'll have some remedies in place. We got some amazing people. All of those on the site, those are our regional directors. Don, so I need to get your headshot in here, man, so
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
we
sir.
get you on
Yes,
there.
sir. Got you.
So yeah, but though all of those on that site, it tells you who the regional officers are that you're working with. You're not out here by yourself and freestyling it. That I would not. If you're gonna do it that way, I would not encourage you to get into this program if you just gonna freestyle it, because you don't understand the magnitude and the levels of the training you're going to get. Like, there's the Interpol website right there. It's there. It's super legit. It's super legit. It's all there. There's no fluff, no nothing. It's there. So you want to go through
Lit.
and you want to do that application. We'll get you going the right way, and we hope that we get to see, hopefully, a lot of you at the training. Does anybody have any questions? Maybe I can answer, or Don can answer about the training, and we can just see where we go from here, y'all. But make sure y'all have the link. I left it up for a reason, so you can't say where's the link at. Y'all didn't post it. I'm gonna leave this
Uh,
live up so you can
yeah,
go back and
I'm gonna grab the live and post it too. Then if you're part of my school, I'm gonna put the link in the school as well. And
there we go.
let you know you was referred by Don Kalam. I'm be sending it to everybody that's part of the school.
There we go. So that's what we want. We want this training to be massive. We're literally hosting it at the Dallas Police Department. You can't listen. Like, anytime you got Dallas PD on board, they're saying like, "Hey, look, hey, we with it, y'all. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
make it happen." Yes.
you see what he's put?
Oh, we got a gem dropped. Tribal people can do a treaty with Interpol. We could help set up a UN recognized law enforcement, courts, and homeland security with the diplomatic IDs. Now that's power. We're not hiding behind anything. Yeah, this gives you diplomatic protection, y'all.
so,
You can
so
literally scan this.
if
And
you have your tribe, whatever, you can create a treaty with them so you can be protected.
yes,
So I just want, and that's what's going on now with your families. You don't have a treaty with these people,
yes,
so they're treating you like property. I don't. It sounds sad because we're in America, but this is the world of capitalism.
yes.
This is just welcome to America. You have to understand this private life, and you have to learn how to become friends with the state. That's what we like to call it because
Yes,
it's trading with the enemy. When you go to court, it's the state versus you.
right.
So you have to learn how to become friends with the state.
Yes. This is the way to do it. And you'll notice that as you go into the courts, if you are ever, assigned there, I've done expert witness testimony sometimes. Dr. Carla's done expert witness
That's
testimony
lit.
for forensic purposes and different things like that. The people that we go and we work with on certain cases, they ask us to come. As soon as they see this, like, oh, sir, like, no, like, why are you taking your belt off? Like, well, we're just issuing peaceful compliance. No, sir, put your belt back on. No, you ain't got to take it. Put your shoes back on. You're good. Do you have any weapons to declare? Yeah, you got to watch the language is conveyance is everything. Do you
Facts.
have any weapons to declare? No, there's no. You see, I got my strap. That's so you know. So I know I go to certain places. Am I caring? Am I not? No, I'm just here up under peaceful compliance. I'm not here in your jurisdiction to provide any protection. So basically I'm saying I'm off the clock. That's basically
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying. I'm off the clock. If anything happens, I know how to cut the clock back on, right? That's the whole point of it is being able to make sure that you have protections on both the public and the private side. That's what we're able to do in this training. We're gonna give you all facets of it. Okay, wow, we got more people joining. Like just what I think we about to get. Like they coming in. Okay, yeah, the tribal. Okay, so the tribal treaties. So if you actually have a tribe, we are able to help establish friendship with Interpol. So if there are any issues regarding municipal law enforcement, they got to deal with us before they even touch you. They got to deal with us first.
That's
If you're
lit.
dealing with court issues, they got to deal with us
That's
first before
awesome.
they even do anything. Homeland Security provides our backup for us because they ensure that your diplomatic protection is kept. Okay, that's why they're behind us. Okay, that's the power that we're ensuring that your tribe, your community, your nation, your family has. We're ensuring that that happens. Oh, and
Cut out. Cut out.